Thank you, Senator Tillis, and I do look forward to working with you on that project here in the Judiciary Committee, and I think between the chairman, Senator Durbin, and the ranking member, Senator Graham, both have very strong and long-lasting and sincere commitments to trying to do bipartisan immigration reform demonstrated by their actions. So I think we have a real prospect, and I hope that we're able to take advantage of it. And I thank you for your
that, Senator Whitehouse. And Director Marcos, I also wanted to mention, I was going to ask you a series of questions about the influx facility in Greensboro. I think it's in cold status now. I want to talk about that and understand when it could potentially be activated. So those will be submitted for the record. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're most welcome. Let me just ask Ms. Marcos and Ms. Nanda. I understand that HHS and DOL have been working together to find ways to address labor exploitation of unaccompanied children. Can you describe those efforts? How is it going? Where are you so far? And what can Congress do to facilitate your work?
I'm happy to start. Thanks so much, Senator Whitehouse. The task force that is being led by the Department of Labor has active engagement with a number of other federal agencies. That includes my colleagues from state, my colleagues from DHS, of course, HHS, but also the Department of Education, the Department of Commerce, USDA, the Department of Justice. And we've taken many steps that I'd say overall are focused on cross-training of staff, doing outreach together, making sure that we're getting materials out and actually reaching vulnerable workers where they are, and also education, all aimed at improving the health and well-being of children and children that may be extremely vulnerable. In terms of some specific work that we've done with HHS in particular, we entered into a memorandum of understanding in March of this year that is really aimed at improving and deepening our long-standing relationship that we've had with HHS. This means that we are coordinating on information potentially about child labor investigations. We are assisting in identification, or we have HHS assisting us in the identification of supportive services for victims or children that we may encounter in our investigation. It means that we may be sharing trends in child labor that we are both respectively seeing that will help both of us in our work respectively. So a lot of relevant information is being shared, relationships are being deepened, and we continue to deepen our work both with HHS and other members of the task force.
Ms. Marcos, anything to add?
Thank you, Senator. As she mentioned, much stronger coordination both at the leadership level, but also in the different team level with both the identification, but also services after an investigation concludes. I think just kind of two other things that we have done is we have also stood up an accountability team, and also the National Call Center makes calls back to any child who's calling with concerns, just to make sure that they had follow-up and receiving services.
What's an accountability center?
It's an accountability team, and it's really looking at ways that we can continue to strengthen our sponsor vetting, and if we know that there are
internal and sponsor accountability.
Yes, that's
okay.
Correct.
Terrific. Well, thank you all very much. Appreciate the witnesses being here. The record of the hearing will remain open for a week. If anyone wishes to add any materials to the record of the hearing, or if there are questions for the record for any of our witnesses. I heard Senator Tillis ask a question for the record, and I hope, request, and urge that you respond promptly to his and any other requests for the record so that we can build a good, strong record in the hearing. If you don't respond, it makes us have to chase you, and we have better things to do. So please be diligent in responding, and with that, I'll adjourn the hearing. Thank you all.